In 1998, a self-help book hit the shelves and quietly sold over 1.2 million copies in the United States alone. Today, it is a global property, translated into 24 languages. It became a survival manual in the music industry. Rappers from 50 Cent and Kanye West to Jay-Z have openly cited the text, studying its principles to navigate the entertainment business. The text quickly migrated from the recording studio to the boardroom. Tech founders and CEOs, people like Jeff Bezos, treat it as an essential operating manual for dominating entire categories and outpositioning competitors. For the world's most successful people, the book offers an unapologetic roadmap for acquiring, maintaining, and expanding leverage over others. Yet this exact same book is currently banned in the prison systems of 18 different U.S. states. You have to ask what kind of information lives inside these pages that venture capitalists revere as a scaling strategy, but state wardens treat as dangerous contraband. The author, Robert Greene, spent his early career studying historical figures. He distilled 3,000 years of court politics, military strategy, and human behavior into 48 raw, amoral rules. To understand the ban, we have to look at how these rules operate depending on who holds the book. They function as a sword for the elite and a defensive shield for the vulnerable. You can sort Greene's 48 laws into 3 distinct ethical buckets: pragmatism, predation, and protection. Those at the top of the hierarchy heavily lean on the predation rules. In this tier, business and scale operate as a zero-sum game of total dominance. Take Law 15, crush your enemy totally. When tech monopolies like Facebook identify a rising competitor, they copy features and starve the rival of growth, ensuring the threat cannot recover. Or look at Law 6, court attention at all costs. What used to mean dazzling a 17th century royal court translates directly today into feeding digital algorithms to survive. If your brand doesn't constantly own the narrative, you disappear. Critics argue this unapologetic ruthlessness goes too far. Even Niccolo Machiavelli, author of The Prince, framed his advice as a reluctant necessity for rulers facing turbulent times. Greene removes the reluctance entirely. Ethicists see a recipe for greed and misery. But for founders aggressively scaling their empires, this amorality is simply the accepted cost of doing business. Which brings us back to the prison system. Greene argues that wardens censor the book to maintain absolute control. Restricting access to these strategies helps keep inmates infantilized and completely dependent on the institution. For the incarcerated, and even for everyday workers dealing with toxic bosses, the text isn't a manual for predation, it serves as a defensive shield. Law 5, guard your reputation, becomes a modern survival tactic. If you maintain a solid, unimpeachable track record, manipulators lose their ability to control your narrative or exploit your weaknesses. Law 40, despise the free lunch, teaches the vulnerable to refuse gifts from untrustworthy people. Rejecting the lunch neutralizes the manipulator's ability to create feelings of false indebtedness and extract future favors. And Law 48, assume formlessness, acts as the ultimate defense. By staying flexible and refusing to commit to rigid patterns, you remain unpredictable and untargetable in a hostile environment. By learning the mechanics used by the power-hungry, the vulnerable stop being surprised by sudden betrayals. They can spot the traps early and cease being easy prey. The text serves both the billionaire and the inmate because power itself lacks a moral compass. It operates like the basic physics of human interaction. Greene himself has conceded that taking every single one of his rules literally and applying them constantly would make you a miserable, highly isolated person to be around. The laws do not manufacture ruthless people. Instead, the book acts as a diagnostic tool, revealing the grinding machinery of self-interest that operates just beneath the surface of our everyday interactions. By tracing these tactics from ancient emperors to modern executives, we see that human nature and the desire for leverage have remained exactly the same across 3 millennia. You always have the choice to play the game of power ethically or not to play offense at all. The game is always running in the background, and choosing to ignore the rules only guarantees that you will be played.